Okay, cool. So if everybody, in the chat, we put a link to a PDF keynote or a PowerPoint, whichever you use, which will be helpful when we get to that part of our workshop today. So I guess to start, welcome to Unleashing the Power of Your Idea, Twin Cities Startup Week. We just want to say thanks again for coming. This is awesome. Of course, we are with ILT Academy. We are a new startup that was created at ILT Studios, which is a startup studio in St. Cloud, Minnesota, focused on supporting underestimated entrepreneurs in underserved geographies. And so we're super excited to have you here and to take part in this workshop. Just quick, our agenda for today, a quick background on who we are and what the Academy is. Then we want to get in and just share a little bit more about our perspective on what founders do. Today, we're going to focus on how to use an innovation framework to take your insights and weave them in and through problems, solutions, customers, and context. And then you're going to get to work on your idea. So we want to make sure that you've downloaded our PDF, Keynote, or PowerPoint file because you're going to want to use them while you're in the workshop with us. And we'll finish with sharing our Lightning Talk framework. And if we have time, which we probably won't, but if we do have a bonus activity. I wish, what if, because we love getting feedback on our sessions. So that being said, just some quick introductions from the team. Anna and Shelby, if you guys want to go first.
Sure. I will go first because I spoke up sooner. So I'm Anna Stoll. I am Director of Customer Experience and Design Innovation. I have around 20 years of sales and marketing and customer experience background. And I've worked from anywhere from big corporations to mom and pop businesses. I have a variety of background going from sales to traditional marketing, digital marketing, and then customer experience. And my passion is customer experience and entrepreneurship. I have co-authored in an Amazon international bestseller book, which is titled Customer Experience. So not too exciting on the title, but been a really fun journey. And I am absolutely excited and thrilled to be a part of ILT and our ILT Academy. I'll be sharing a lot of those details with you today.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. My name is Shelby. I am the Director of Education for ILT Academy. I am a Doctor of Education, a K-12 educator, and an entrepreneur. I spent a lot of time gathering evidence-based practices in classrooms and across K-12 school districts while also crafting our startup education curricula for ILT Academy. And I realized really quickly just how much startup education is needed, which is where I took my research and built those pedagogical practices with human behavior in mind that allows humans to teach and learn through really meaningful experiences and interact with the world differently and innovatively for change. In other words, there are many ways that our brain muscles need to work to be optimal. And we should be doing that because we all have amazing ideas, but how do we actually know that we have a good idea? And that's what we've been focusing on and building, and hopefully giving you a little taste today. And that's really where I have come to full circle today as an educator and entrepreneur.
Cool. And my name is Nick Tietz. I'm an innovator and an entrepreneur. I help discover and develop assets and activate people and ideas. Currently, I'm one of the co-founders and CEO of ILT Studios, and ILT Academy are one of it's actually our second startup that we've started, which is great. My quick background is I was formerly the Director of Innovation at Lifetime Fitness, where we focused on developing health and fitness behaviors, focused on healthy way of life. I've also worked at the Nerdery Interactive Labs, where I got to spend a lot of time building a lot of cool pieces of software and tools. My background is in user experience as well. So thanks again for coming today, and we're excited to get into the course. So I just real quick about ILT Academy. We are focused on training people that are interested in improving their skills as an entrepreneur or innovator, who are unsatisfied with the lack of practical methods and want to focus on their personal challenge or idea. ILT Academy is a new educational organization that provides a solution to empower people to learn the skills of entrepreneurship and innovation. Unlike other startup courses that focus on teaching the theory of lean startup, we break down this art into frameworks and processes and skills that can be practiced deliberately. Simply put, we want to help you unleash the power of your idea. And we really believe in this, and you'll see it's kind of at the core of everything that we do.
Mm-hmm.
So our focus areas are really around, we have community programs, intensive boot camps, startup entrepreneurship, design innovation, and critical thinking. And we really provide, what we get really excited about is providing these 3 certificate programs that we have. So it includes a certificate program for each of those areas. And then our vision is to create spaces, places, and culture to cultivate an abundance of problem solvers, innovators, and founders. We are hard at working to really create an inclusive place for people to cultivate a community of entrepreneurs and equip them with the skills needed to develop successful ventures and high growth 21st century businesses. And we get really excited and passionate about that. We really try to live out our vision each and every day.
Yeah, so, through our work with this in ILT Academy, we realized that there were 3 core tenets that we firmly believed in. We believe that ideas are easy, but the execution is hard. We believe that being an entrepreneur is a skill, and this skill can be trained. And from that, we identified that we value skills over talent, that we value getting feedback and having a growth mindset through that process. And we value being able to ask the right questions, which is really kind of what we're going to be going over today a little bit. And that's really what brings us to what differentiates us. What differentiates us really is our applied and differentiated teaching and learning. And what that means is that our students leave with productive insights about their idea and learn how to give and receive feedback and be able to identify those ways to validate and iterate their ideas, so that they leave with something after they take our class about their idea. We have a pro-social feedback culture. We believe that students should be actively and productively being able to give and receive support while collaborating within various networks, no matter what industry they're in. And we have reflective practices. These reflective activities help our founders understand their own strengths and insights that bring value to their business and ideas, and who their business or idea can benefit from when they join their team. So as you can see here with some of our founders in our classes, we have this cognizant craft of teaching and learning opportunities. It's very multifaceted, and we're busy scaffolding new concepts with our already found skills in our founders. And we're able to provide this experiential learning approach by having our founders actively work on their business and leave further than where they were when they walked through those doors, or in this case, logged on to Zoom and said hi. Our collaborative, human-centered pedagogy is really the core of what we do. We implement these key ingredients of giving, receiving feedback constantly through creating and evaluating and critiquing each other and giving each other an opportunity and great insights, regardless of what industry we're in. And our goal really is to get us to crafting our 30-second pitch.
Right. Well, that's great. Well, and that's a great segue into, talking about what founders do. And one of the things that we talk about, there's 2 primary tasks that we talk about to the students when they're in our class, and that one is founding a team, right? I mean, yes, solo entrepreneurship is a thing, but when we start talking about startups and tech culture, like it's a team sport, right? And now if David was here, David's one of our other co-founders. He talk about he came from the Valley, and the running joke is that every startup has a hipster, a hacker, and a hustler. And it is very tongue in cheek, but we do believe it's true. Like that hipsters, that's the person, they really set the vision, they live the vision, they eat the vision, right? And then the hacker, that's the person that hacks it together. But one of the things that we like to stress is that doesn't necessarily mean that you are a tech hacker. What it means is that you're the person on the team that's going to hack things together. If you were making the next great granola bar company, like you'd be the person that would be like, I can hack anything into a bar that people can consume, right? And the hustler, this is the person that is unabashedly afraid to go out there and get people to say yes, and why not give us a chance, right? And when you get, and these are all attributes that every founder needs to have, but we recognize that we don't have these all equally. And it's important to think about your kind of founding team of like, who's doing what, especially in the early stages. It's helpful to find people that have strengths in these areas, because maybe you're more introverted and you just don't like going out there and meeting tons of people. Well, find that person that does. The second part that we believe that a founder's job is to find fit, right? And so when we talk about that, we talk about finding fit between a problem, a solution, a customer, and a context. And as you're working on your idea, you may find that, again, a good approach, right, is to put these all down as hypotheses that you're going to go validate, and know that they might change along the way. But what we teach is leveraging this framework to break things down and deconstruct them. We find that really helps, right? And so that's what we want to do today. So before we dive in it on your problem, we want to make sure that everybody's had a chance to download that our PDF, Keynote, or PowerPoint. And or Shelby, if you guys can post it back in the chat. I just want to make sure that you it can do that. My cat seems to be running around in the background. Apologize for the noise. But let me give you a quick example of what we're going to do, right? So this is the future car company, right? So we start with insights, right? One insight is more people are concerned about reducing their carbon footprint. Like that is a clear and simple statement of something that you might notice that, maybe some people are thinking about, maybe some people haven't. Another is that people are willing to pay more for green vehicles. Over the last, 5-10 years, that is becoming very true. And a technology insight, electric car batteries are powerful enough for passenger vehicles. So not just golf carts, but actual passenger vehicles that can travel for longer distances, and it's improving by the day. So when we start talking about, well, so what's the problem, right? The problem is getting people from A to B, right? Simply put. The solution might be a battery-powered car. Well, who needs this? Well, people buying automobiles, people carrying, transporting other people, right? And then what's the context? What do you mean by that? Well, lithium-ion batteries are dense enough to power cars. There's also been a societal shift for more sustainable transportation. And of course, government and financial incentives for green tech. These are all contextual changes that have happened. And so as you use this with your team, or as you're thinking about different ideas, you can start to deconstruct this and even add in new things. Like, well, what if it was a battery-powered truck? Or what else could power a vehicle, right? So you can see there's actually many solutions on it, not just one. And so what we want to do is we want to guide you through a little bit of how we talk about this and give you a quick taste for what this looks like. So I wish we could see you right now. I don't know if anybody can turn on their camera or if they want to.
I wonder if we can.
What were you saying, Anna?
I was wondering if I think there was supposed to be a way that we could let that see them. But
either way, it's no big deal. But if anybody wants to, they can. But hopefully you've downloaded this, this deck. So you can do this with us. We're going to guide you through real quick, take notes, write questions. If you do the PowerPoint or the Keynote file, hey, that's good to see you, Lois.
Hey.
You can follow along with us. All right, Michael, I love it. There's people. The endless talking into Zoom. Good to see people.
Thank you so much.
All right, awesome. So if you have your PowerPoint or Keynote file or a PDF open, it's your turn. So let me get to the right spot here. In there you'll find a blank sheet with our innovation framework. And what we want to do is we want to take an opportunity here to, what are some insights that you can scribble down, just like I did before? Like, what are some insights, an interesting problem, could be an interesting solution or customer or context that you've been thinking about in relationship to your idea? This is how we want to unlock it. And we're going to just give you a very short amount of time to do this because we have 25 minutes left.
This is when Shelby starts to sing.
Yeah, exactly. There's just not enough time for that.
So what are some simple, clear and simple observations that you have? These are things that you might see, or they might be things that you might be thinking about in relationship to your idea. And I think if I do the math right, I'm gonna start my clock. We'll do let's do like 3 minutes on each section. I'm gonna start my timer here, a little bit late. But that's okay. Keep writing. If you haven't downloaded the worksheets, go ahead and download them real quick. We want to make sure that you have them, you know how to use them, because hopefully you'll find a value after our session. You can always reach back out to us.
Is this supposed to be in the context of our current business, or is this like about starting a new business, or?
It's whatever your personal challenge or idea is that you want to work on.
Okay.
So the answer is yeah. I'm sorry. That was really
All the above.
Yeah. I think one of the things that that we've found as people are doing this is that this actually this will help you help your friends, right? You can talk to them about these same exact things. So keep going. If anybody else wants to turn on their camera, that would be awesome. We love seeing faces. Got about a minute left.
If you would like to chat.
Throw chat. Yep.
Any questions, thoughts, or if you feel like really passionate that you want to share with us what you're writing, that's okay too. We won't make you, but we are here for you guys.
All right, we got about 30 seconds left. Keep going. Again, love it. You'll want to download that worksheet if you haven't done it already. It will make this way more fun. You can totally watch Michael if you want. He's being a great sport by turning on his camera.
Which worksheet? So it's just the link is in.
And so if you want, it's all three. They're all the same. We made a PowerPoint, a PDF, or a Keynote, whatever type of computer you have or application you're using.
PDF.
All right. So we're going to move on to the next section. Download that document. We want to talk about the problem now. So what are some of the key problems that you've observed or that you've seen, that people are trying to solve? Again, this is in relationship to your idea that you've been thinking about doing. Maybe it's something that you're already working on, but what are those key problems? And we're going to do 3 minutes on this. Actually, we're going to do 1 minute, Shelby, and then we'll jump to 3 so that we can get to the feedbacker part. So I'm going to give you 1 minute. Write down what are those top couple problems. We got about 40 seconds left. What are those top problems? What are those key problems? All right. So now we're going to move to the part. This is what Shelby was referring to. We're gonna give you 3 minutes. We're gonna talk through it while we're doing it. So keep writing as we're talking, okay? And I'll reset my clock, Shelby, for you. To 3 minutes.
Oh, good. Yeah, because I could talk all day. So when we talk about problems, it's really, really good that we understand what similar definitions of what we're actually talking about, but also we're asking the right questions and we're considering it's not just a 1D or a 2D type of problem. It's 3D. It's very multifaceted. So when we ask what the actual problem is, right here in front of you, you see describe the problems people are looking to solve. What are your customers' key problems? It could be functional, it could be emotional, it could be social. Functional, it's very self-explanatory. I need to make a 1-inch hole, that's it, period. Very functional, this is what my thing does. Whereas there's an emotional aspect to it that you need to consider too for your customers. I need a pat on the back. I need a reward. I need to feel good about what I did. And then social, are you solving social problems for your customers? I need to be a good fill in the blank. I need to feel good about myself. So when we think about what our customers' key problems are, we need to make sure that we're kind of seen outside of that silo of our own bias, which is another reason why collaboration is so important. Because if I'm talking to somebody from a completely different industry, they're going to be asking me the same question in a very different way and be giving me different insights that I hadn't considered before.
Right. So go ahead as you think about this on that same line, that same problem line that you were on is, so are there other problems that maybe you weren't initially considering? I know much of the time when you start thinking about problems, you start thinking about functional problems, but what are some of the emotional problems that your customers have in relationship to your idea or your product or your service? What are those emotional problems? And or maybe, as like Shelby was mentioning, what are the social problems that are involved? And specificity counts always. So the more specific, the better. Now, one of the things that we do encourage is if you use these tools afterwards. Of course, we love our favorite Post-it notes. Post-it notes go north and south. One idea per Post-it note, but then you can just put these right on this sheet of paper. Again, we got about 30 seconds left. Even as you think about those first problems that you wrote down, like, can you make them more specific? Maybe there's a functional and an emotional need that you've written into one. Can you deconstruct it and break it into two? But these are the problems that people are looking to solve. All right. So what I'd like you to do now real quick is I want you just to label those problems to the top 3 or 5. There's our timer. That's great. What are those top 3 to 5 problems? So hopefully you listed out quite a few, meaning more than 3. And I want you to label them real quick. Like, what do you think is the most important problem that your customers are trying to solve? And remember, the most important problem that your customers are trying to solve, not what you're trying to solve, your customers are trying to solve. This is all a big setup for your hypothesis, right? These are all hypotheses.
Mm-hmm.
Hypothesize? I don't know. I'm not sure. All right, great. Okay, so next one, we got to keep hopping. All right, so you talked about these problems. Who has this problem, right? So I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I want you to write down, like, who has the problem You just listed up a bunch of problems. Who has it? And be specific. The more specific, the better. You know, don't say adults with cats like me. Like, that's not specific enough. Who has the problem? Okay. Now, who else has the problem, right? So I know that you initially thought about who your target audience was, but who else might have this problem? Now, this is where a great feedbacker session comes in. So what we do is Shelby will be talking about, an idea that she has, and Anna will chime in like, okay, that's great, Shelby, but who else has the problem? Which allows us to think more expansively about who our customers might be.
Yeah, and the great thing, Nick, about that feedback session that we have in our courses is that I might be very, very dedicated. I might be married to my idea. So I can't ask myself some of these questions, or I can't see beyond my love for my idea. But somebody else can, because they're not.
Right.
And that's what's so powerful about posing these really kind of simple questions from a different perspective.
Right. We were talking to a friend, and they were sharing this idea, and they told us who the customer was, and they were talking about a solution that only worked for people that had. They were trying to create a product that worked for people that they could use with one hand, like a one-handed Rubik's cube, right? Who else would need that one-handed Rubik's cube? Because they were thinking about like teenagers. But what about people that only have one hand? Like, that's an audience, right?
Yeah.
They've never even thought of it,
Right.
Okay, real quick. So we're going to spend 2 minutes on this next part. We got to keep moving. So on this customer line, as you think about this, who of the people that you wrote down, the ones that are your target customers, I want you to write a C1 next to them. Sometimes your target customers are not the people that will pay for it, right? But if they are the people that will pay for it, you can put a C1 and a C2 by it. There might be people that you wrote down that are users who will use the service, but they won't pay for it, right? Like, kids in the grocery store, they don't necessarily buy the cereal, their parents do. But they're the ones that might eat it more. Maybe not. I don't eat a lot of sugar. I would.
Yeah, but they're going to make mom and dad buy it because they're going to remember. They're going to want Cocoa Pebbles and all the sugar cereal.
Right.
Skip over Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
Unless it's with marshmallows.
And so this is a great opportunity because you might have been thinking about the people that are going to use your product, but they might not be the people that'll pay for the product. So who are the people that are going to pay? Those are your customers. And who are the people that are going to use? Those are your users. They can be both. Absolutely. I want to spend the last 30 seconds. We got 29 seconds left. Are there any other stakeholders in here that you think are important to note? A stakeholder could be like county commissioners, government officials, health administrators. In one of the last products that I was working on, social workers were an important stakeholder in using the product that we designed. We didn't design it for social workers. We designed it for people with invisible disabilities, but there were stakeholders that were certainly involved. All right, next part. We're going to keep cruising. So on the solution line is where you can write your solution. So what is that solution that you've been thinking about? And remember, these don't have to be what we jokingly call fully baked ideas. Like you might have a half-baked idea or a quarter-baked idea, but put them all down there. Maybe you thought of a new idea. Now that you've been thinking about giving me your problem and solution, like what else is in there?
Right. That's always what happens to me. I when I'm putting down my almost fully baked idea, I come up with another thing, and it's like, oh, okay, I need more worksheets and post-its.
Shelby, do you want to talk about the different ways to think about the solution?
Yeah. So when we say what are the possible solutions to this problem that you've just been kind of exploring, right? You need to think about what's currently in the market, and maybe what's also a potential competitor, and maybe not directly, but in some way. And also thinking about, well, what is so new about your idea? How does your idea and the solution that you provide actually differentiate from your competitors or what's currently in the market? And just like our problems, our solutions can also be functional, emotional, or social too.
So as you're thinking about the solution, I want you to also write down if there's any current offerings in the market, put a S1 next to it. Something to note if as you're writing that down, I'm just going to put this up here. So if you were working in Post-it notes, I'm just going to hold this up to the screen. You know, you'd write down that one idea or that one thing, and then you'd put a little piece of metadata up here like S1, so that you can keep track of like all your different ideas. So what's is there a major competitor, a major competing product? Put an S2 next to it. Is there anybody else doing anything like what you're doing? Some people might ask, what's the difference between the current offering in the market and competing products, right? They sound kind of similar, but your competitors, the S2s are your competitors. So what's your new idea? Again, you wrote that down already, but put an S3. If you thought about any other ideas, you'd put down an S3. If you were riffing with another partner and you were coming up with new ideas, like you just throw down all these S3s right on your worksheet. And then I want you to take, we got 30 seconds left. I'm going to give us 1 minute though. So I'm going to restart 1 minute. I want you to write down what makes your idea different. What are those differentiating key features? See if you can write down like 2 or 3. And put an S4 next to it. So what's different? What's cool? What makes it special? And I know we're pushing fast.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get there. I'm excited. 20 seconds. Differentiating key features and be specific. Specificity counts. It's the thing that's gonna make your idea a winner. All right. We're going to move on to the context. So context, right? So we talked a little bit about this before, but when we were using the future car scenario, right? What are the things that have changed about what's going on, right? Excuse me. You know, and how is the context different now?
Yeah, when we talk about context, Nick, we want to consider all the different possibilities. It's not just time. Some of us think that context is only time or environment or time of year, whatever. But actually, it could be time, it could be place, it could be the technology or the era that we're in. It could be society or the society within the region that we're in, the economy, whether it's country, state specific, region specific, city specific, all of these contexts, when you really start to narrow it down and you're not so vague and grandiose anymore, but you really start asking yourself, what different contexts are at play here? It does make a big difference.
So we got about 30 seconds left. Are there any other things that you're thinking about? We do always recommend, right? It's easy to start with time and place, right? It's kind of funny. I was talking with one of the one of the guys that came up with the granola bar at General Mills, and the way they came up with the solution is they thought about a different context for breakfast cereal. They were like, well, what if you wanted to have breakfast, but you weren't around a bowl or milk? And they're like, well, I guess we could put it in a bar, you know? And it was like, it was so obvious. Yeah, I mean, you might have to go like, how do we stick all the oats together? But you know, it's just kind of funny as you think about these different things.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we want to work on the lightning talk for just the last few minutes and give ourselves a little bit of time to relax at the end, since there's no beers involved and we can't see anybody. So all of these things that you put together, we want to see more people talk about their idea quickly so that they can get people invested in what it is that you're working on. And so we talk about this as an ad lib pitch, right? So what you've done is, using the innovation framework, you've prepared yourself to put this together quickly, right? So remember how I was making you write down all these C1s and S1s and all that? That was a code for your ad lib pitch, right? For your target customer, and you can list out more than one or two here, who are dissatisfied with. Remember, I asked you what's the current offering in the market? That's S1. Your product and service is like this new thing that you've come up with that provides a solution to. I remember you listed out these problems. Unlike other things in the market, you have some significant differentiators. And when you can say that forwards and backwards, on demand, on command, at Subway, or whatever place you like going to lunch at. I don't know why I keep using Subway as an example. I never did at Subway or have a very long time. But wherever you're at, like our big vision is that, like, as we talk about creating a culture, is that if we said, you know, hey Lois, I want to hear your ad lib pitch, boom, she'd go right into it. That's what we're really excited about developing, and getting more people to talk like this. It's like speaking entrepreneur, right? Everybody has an ad lib pitch, or they should. We want you to get good at it.
Well, and also too with that, if I'm talking to somebody and I am good enough to be able to talk around my idea because my ad lib pitch was so good, I'm hoping that by the time I'm done talking to them, they can talk about my idea to somebody else just as good as I did with them, because the ad lib pitch was so concise and streamlined.
Now, Lois and Michael, since we can see you, if anybody else wants to turn on their camera, they can. But Lois and Michael, do you guys want to read what you wrote down? Did you get far enough that you feel comfortable doing that?
You can do it.
You're not saying read the sheet. You're saying verbalize the ad pitch.
Yes.
Okay. A virtual gathering.
All right.
Across generations to joyfully celebrate special talents and interests that when celebrated will strengthen community and support the individuals that are doing the sharing.
Very cool. Very good. Awesome. That's how we start.
Thank you for being so brave and sharing.
A virtual gathering of women across generations to joyfully celebrate women entrepreneurs, artists, and technologists as individuals and in the way they benefit their communities. Something similar to that.
I like it.
Woo!
I like that. Great. That's great.
Very
Michael,
good.
do you want to take a shot since you're here with us? We can see you.
I would love to. I'm just about up here.
Okay, we'll give you a few more seconds.
But I know we
Anna,
have
I don't know. Let's take a moment. People can see how to follow us and all that kind of fun stuff, and then we'll hear Michael's at the end as he's finishing.
Yeah, definitely. So I hope that you all are enjoying this. As you have seen, we have really practical, useful frameworks for our process, and so we want them to be really something easy that you can implement into your journey as an entrepreneur and inventor. We do have a website, and so I will go ahead and I will put that link in again on the chat. So please feel free to connect with us. We do have a page at the end of this that does have our contact information, but I can also give it to you in the, oh, there we go. So you can see that we have David, who is not with us today, but he is also a brilliant co-founder on our team, along with Shelby, myself, and Nick. And you can see we have all of our email addresses there, and we would absolutely love to have you connect with us, whether it's on LinkedIn or send us an email. You are more than welcome. Don't think that your idea is too small to connect with us. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah. All right, Michael, are you ready? This will be the big closeout here.
Oh, that's no pressure, right? Can you send this version of the PowerPoint that has all those details in it? Because it doesn't look like it was in the version that was linked here.
No, it wasn't. But we're happy to.
Okay, great. And then also, can you pull up the previous slide again that shows the format?
Yes.
The ad lib pitch.
For the ad lib pitch, yeah. Okay. So for customers without storefronts who are dissatisfied with the current online marketing opportunities, our product or service connects you with influencers, or wait. No, connects you with our product or service is a form of online marketing that provides a solution to connecting with online influencers, unlike traditional methods like connecting through contacting them individually through Instagram or Facebook or whatever. We have done all the searching for you, and we let you connect directly with those people to market your product.
Cool. Cool idea. Great job.
Yay! Thank you, our brave people.
Woohoo! Awesome. Awesome,
That's
guys.
awesome.
Well, I know that I know that our time is up, but we really look forward to connecting with more of you. Please reach out to us. Let us know how we can help you with our idea. We have some upcoming cohort. We're just about to launch our first cohort with Red Wing Ignite. They've been an awesome partner. We've been doing some innovation sessions in Red Wing and St. Cloud, and now virtual. We're going to be starting another cohort in January across West Central Minnesota. But for anyone that wants to learn more about what we're doing and bring us to their community, please reach out to any of us. We love teaching, we love sharing, and we hope you got a small taste of it today. We'd love to spend more time with you, helping you unleash the power of your idea. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, that was awesome.
There's never enough time, you know?
I know.
Time just flies by.
We are still live.
Oh.
So we are still live and we're still recording if you want to jump off. It's kind of a funny ending.
I know.
Wah, wah.
All right, we'll see everybody later. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.